dead.
Grenades. You know them, you love them, you use them, whether you call them grenades or blitz abilities. I guess it depends on which class you play. And we'll be ranking all of the grenades, and I'll be explaining as to why I'm putting them there. And so, to get it started, start with the Ogren.
Moist and delicious.
Now, for the Ogren, you have to consider a lot of things. One, how does it deal with mutants and monstrosities? How does it deal with like things that the Ogren's not normally good against, like snipers, bombers, even, depending on how far away they are, and how like usable it is in terms of grenade spawns. And obviously, because one of the things is playing an Ogre you're going to have to get used to is that people are going to be stealing grenades from you all the time. It's going to happen because it's just how it is, unfortunately. So to get the start off, we'll start off with the Ogren-sized frag bomb. A very fun blitz ability to use. However, I cannot rate it above a C. Now, don't get me wrong, it's very good at what it does, which is blow up a bunch of gunners. Or clear out a horde, or even, But the fact that, one, you only get one of them, right, obviously. It doesn't do the most damage to, like, carapace armored enemies, like Crushers and Bulwarks, which aren't carapace armors, but, they're the Ogren enemies, or, Maulers and whatnot. So it can definitely kind of, wouldn't help you out in, like, a Crusher Swarm more than anything else, essentially. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not meant to deal with Crushers. It's meant to deal with 10 million squishies shooting your homies from across the way. However, things it fails at is it's not the best against snipers. I mean, obviously, I've used them on snipers because it's funny. But if you're actually, like, struggling on a mission, you probably don't want to waste it on that. You can't one-tap mutants with it. You can't stagger monstrosities with it. Well, you can, but you can only do it once. And it's just, you're probably not going to be able to get to the grenade boxes before your teammates, and obviously, sometimes the grenade spawns aren't nice, and you'll never see a box the whole mission. So, that's where, like, that affects it badly. Now onto the rock. Easy S tier. It does a lot of damage, does a lot of impact, can, one-tap mutants, is a good way to deal with snipers, can handle monstrosities, can CC crushers, can CC bulwarks, can CC reapers. You throw a rock at anything, it's either getting knocked down or it's dead. And obviously you get it back every 45 seconds, so you're going to be throwing rocks all game. Obviously it lacks in the ability to deal with hordes, and you can only stagger a crusher like once once with it before it gets in your face, unless you throw a second rock. But it's just the amount of versatility it has. I can't put it anywhere under S. Now for the kind of mixed bag of the two is the Box O grenades, the old big box of hurt, a certified hood classic of the Ogren's arsenal. You throw it, it does a bunch of impact damage. I believe it does more damage than the rock. I believe it can actually one-tap Reapers to the head. And then it drops a bunch of grenades. And now when we were talking about Crusher Swarms earlier, this is what if you're in a Crusher Swarm and you have this, you're having a good time, because each one of those grenades is going to be staggering that Crusher a little bit. And obviously the grenades actually do a fair bit of damage. I believe it can also stagger monstrosities with headshots. And then, yeah, it just does a lot of damage. Grenades do a lot of damage, and you get two of them, which is, pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't regenerate, but having two, you might be able to save it up for a bad situation. But that's the Ogren done. Let's get into the Zealot, shall we?
Oh, shit. You mind if I praise the Lord? Go ahead.
Ah, the Zealot. The lean, mean fighting machine, the boss battle for the enemies of the Imperium. And all of its glory. I just realized I have two of the grenades mixed up down here. You get over there. So, first and foremost, I'm not going to go in the order of I have them here, because we'll talk about you. The Immolation Grenade, B. Solid B. Good against hordes. Pretty okay against some of the tougher enemies if you can get them, like, stuck in the fire. Usually if you have, like, a Psyker that has the Lightning Staff or the Smite, or an Ogren with Taunt, you can keep them in the fire and clear out, Ragers and whatnot. But, it's not very good at dealing with, like, Crushers, Ogren enemies, and stuff like that. But, it has its uses. It's good against long range targets like gunners and stuff. If they're like hiding behind boxes, you can yeet it over them. It's okay at dealing with monstrosities, kinda, as in if you get them in the thing, it's more damage to them. But generally, it's just okay. It doesn't have a lot of utility. It doesn't have it's pretty like, it's good in those situations like you have the hounds, the waves of hounds on you. That's where it's like shines the best because it'll deal with those hounds no problem. Now for the stun storm grenade, I have to give this an A. I would feel bad if I gave it anything less than an A. Obviously, it doesn't do that much damage, if any at all. You can even consider what it does damage because it does a little itty bitty bit. But the area of effect is huge. The stun duration is huge. The fact that you can also stun crushers is insane. And it's just too good. Imagine you have a friend got grabbed by a scab trapper, bunch of enemies around him, throw that stun storm on him. You have like 10 million years to get him out of the net and keep fighting. It's just too good. I can't give it anything other than an A. It's just simple as. Now, obviously, it doesn't like have the versatility of the flame grenade of like dealing with bombers, really, as in like killing them, or bombers, gunners, whatever, killing them. But it's other than that, it's just too good. Now for the knife. Now the knife is an interesting sort of outlier among the Blitz abilities because it is incredibly niche in its use. You're only using this with one zealot build where it is incredibly strong if you can, hit your headshots with it. Unlike, you can one-tap crushers, mutants, you can do 1,000,000 damage to monstrosities. But it's just like, outside of that, it's just kind of, it's just, I can't give it anything higher than a D because of how incredibly niche it is in a way to make it good, Like, it's just, I don't see, if you're running the idol, for example, I don't see any reason why you would run the throwing knife. Or if you're even running Chastise the Wicked, why would you need to run the throwing knife? You are the throwing knife. It's just, I can't give it anything higher than a D in good faith. Yeah. But with that, let's get into the veteran Blitz abilities. My voice cracked there. I wonder if anyone heard it.
You were good, son, real good. Maybe even the best.
Ah, the veteran. The also shouty, lean, mean fighting machine. Killer of ranges, shooter of enemies, and user of plasma. Has all pretty good grenades, except the smoke grenade. So let's get this out of the way now. Alright? Let's get this out of the way now. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, we're fumbling, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll make it purple so it's visible. Sorry. Let's get that out of the way now. It's not. It's, yeah. I feel like I don't have to explain myself, but I will. It's worse than niche because it's like, okay, I can stop the enemies from shooting me, or as the veteran, I could just stop them from shooting me with my las gun. It's, maybe it CCs, I guess, a little bit, but it's like, it doesn't help you deal with snipers, it doesn't help you with monstrosities, it doesn't help you with like melee targets. It's like okay against gunners, I guess, but you can't. It's just, no, come on. Now for the crack grenade, I gotta put it at A here. We all know why. You can one-tap crushers with it. You can do 1,000,000 damage to monstrosities. It'll destroy all ogre enemies, maulers, anything like that. It'll stick to anything. You barely have to aim it. It's just good. And the only reason why it's on A and not S is because it doesn't deal with like hordes very well. One of the staple of the veteran is throwing a grenade at your feet. And same for the shredder grenade. For that reason, I gotta put it in A. It does quite a bit of damage to everything, and the bleed effect stacks pretty good, and it has a pretty good radius, and you know, it's just good. And the fact that the veteran can regen all of these kind of, you know, bumps them up a little bit. Yeah, you know, if it wasn't for the smoke grenade, the veteran would have all A's. Let's be real here. But now on to the non-grenade blitz abilities with the Psyker.
Testicular torsion!
Ah, the Psyker. The Thinker. Now, the interesting thing about the Psyker is that these aren't grenades. These aren't grenades, so it's hard to, like, put them in the list. But I will, because they are blitz abilities. Now, I believe... Let's just get started with Brain Burst. You know, just get this out of the way. It's too slow, doesn't do enough damage, and you don't get any benefit from using it, really. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, for a sale, I gotta give it, I'll give it B. Because it's not great. Oh my god, my voice cracked. It's not great at dealing with monstrosities, crushers, bulwarks, reapers, maulers. It's okay against ragers and below. But it's just, you know, you spam it, you clear hordes, you can ADS it, you can maybe deal with that sniper that's pointing at you. Maybe. It just takes a while to get them all back, even if you have the perk where it goes faster. It's just... It's alright. Now I have to give Smite S. Now you may be wondering, what the hell, Smite doesn't do no damage? You were just talking about inability to deal with this, that, the others. And you're right, Smite doesn't do very much damage. However, it does a lot of CC. It does a whole lot of CC. You can CC entire hordes, even without the infinite glitch that was in back in the day. And it just... You can't explode your head with it. You can't. Well, you could, but Smite's not going to explode your head, because it automatically quells when you hit 100. You can CC Crushers, Bulwarks, Ogrins. You can't CC Monstrosities, but, you know, you do decent okay amount of damage. Now, where it does falter is against longer range targets, like snipers. But usually, if you're running Smite, I'd say you're running a las pistol of some sort, or a gun, in which you can deal with it yourself. I believe the strengths of this outweigh the weaknesses in terms of what it does, and it pairs well with a whole lot of your allies' stuff. Like, as I mentioned earlier, the flame grenade, if you CC a bunch of targets in the flame grenade, it'll actually do a lot of damage. And what do you say? The Smite can CC a bunch of ragers in a flame pit, and bada bing, bada boom, they're gone. But yeah, that's the video. If you disagree with me, which I'm sure some people will, let me know in the comments why you disagree with me, why I'm a dumb fuck, scumfuck bastard. And yeah, if you made this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mother. But you better brush your teeth. Now have a good one.